nigga with my elbow. Then I move like Timi Sodipo. Running from the 5-0. Hawaii 5-0.
I'm gonna keep that one in. So that's jokes.
That'll be a good intro.
That'll be a good intro. Jokes. Alright, sorry, cheers.
Yeah, of course, bro. You know the ad-libs though, you hate that shit, it's good.
Full ad-libs, bro.
Let's go.
You're the one barring, bro. I'm dropping the bars.
Fresh out the, I was gonna say fresh out the band though.
How's your moth seasons? It's like, yo, what's your moth seasons? Fresh out the band though, that's the first thing she hears. My son, what are you doing?
No, literally, bro, he's like, it's gone down the wrong path.
It's gone down the wrong path. He needs to go back to Africa.
Oh my goodness.
3, 2, 1. Hello. Welcome to another episode of the Jeoffrey Sarpong podcast. This is my second time doing this intro because the last time I couldn't keep a straight face. But it is what it is. I'm trying to keep natural. I'm trying to keep, loose and fluent. Hey, yo, alright, cool. Alright, gotta keep moving forward. Keep moving forward. Aaron, keep moving. Alright, so today, welcome to another episode. Today I have my friend Timi with me. Timi, how are you? How you been? Just go off that.
Okay, sure. Yeah, I'm good. It's been a while. Thank you for having me on the podcast again.
Of course, bro.
Honestly, I feel blessed. Seeing the growth on the channel as well. Definitely a really good series to look into, so you guys shouldn't miss out. So yeah, man. I just wanted to say thanks again. You guys.
Of course, bro. Of course, man. Thanks, man. Like, I appreciate the first time you were on, man. It was one of my favorite episodes. Sorry, everyone else. It was one of my favorite episodes because it was like we were just like vibing, and like that moment was so interesting because like you meet someone, you go, cool, they're interesting person. When you get to really sit down with them and talk to them about their points of view and stuff like that, that's when you really start to see the person they are. And like I think since then we've just been close. We've gone ball, we've kicked ball. We want to do more stuff together. But yeah, just quickly, just go off how you been, what you've been up to since we last spoke. I know that we're playing football together, but anything else you've been doing, you just want to share?
Yeah, so I've been working on a few projects. I want to try and complete a project. I don't really want to speak too much on it at the moment, but obviously I'm gonna try and release something towards the end of the year. Hopefully I can obviously send a link, or I can send a link to Jeff, and he can probably end up just like releasing the link at the right time. 100%. But I'm also working on my comics at the moment, still writing the story, as well as doing a lot of artwork. Hopefully Jeff can also link down my Instagram where you can see some artwork, also Pinterest page. But yeah, just same old grind, trying to make money and just focusing on achieving my goal and trying to write my own story really. Let me
go off that. And like, yeah, 100%. You played it like calm, but like his story is amazing. Like literally, like I think I said this in the last episode, like your story is going to be a classic. Like when it blows up, I think when it blows up, it's going to be like the man I'm going to relate to it. Like the like in terms of quality, he's already there, but I know you're just going to keep refining it because you're obsessed. Just like everyone who does anything good, you're like obsessed with it, and like that's really important. But yeah, like it's gonna blow up. It's gonna be so popular. It's gonna be so successful. And, and just to speak on that, then like one of the questions I wanted to get into at the beginning was like, obviously as you're seeing this growth happen, you're seeing like every year there's like different like goals that you're reaching, things you're doing right now to achieve a bigger goal. But what does that bigger goal look like? What does success to you look like? And like in the end, where do you want to reach and where do you want to take it from here?
So success in my eyes is really just achieving everything I set my mind to. So if I tell myself that I want to complete writing a specific art at the end of the month, success would be me completing the arc at least to the point where it's like I don't need to really look back at it and then kind of over stress about leaving certain aspects of it out because I've completed everything I needed to do. And when it comes to like the long-term overall goal, really it would probably just really be like getting to a point where I'm at least releasing like every single issue, and each time I drop an issue I can at least get, actually it's not even there, I'd probably say success is when it gets to a point of adaptation into like probably maybe an anime or a series, because it's like I really want people to watch it, especially because I've got a lot of musical elements which I've incorporated into my story. And I feel like you can definitely get one type of perspective of a story, obviously reading it, but when you also see it animated or even just in a live adaptation, there's always something that can be brought to the different types of I guess media which is pretty much viewed.
So do you think about that now as you write the story now? Are you thinking of like how it's going to be animated now?
Yes, I do, because realistically, when it comes to me writing the story, I feel like I need to have a perspective of how I want how it would look in all types of adaptations. Mainly, I'm just looking at obviously the anime and like the comic. I know it sounds kind of weird that I'm saying anime and comic, but realistically, it's because I want the story to be presented as a comic, but when it's viewed, it's going to be animated like an anime. But yeah, when I kind of just focus on looking at those two medias, because I feel like there's certain aspects of the story which I can and cannot demonstrate in certain platforms. So, for example, if I'm pretty much like writing a part of the story, I would want I don't think I'd be able to get how do I say, the whole environment displayed or even presented in a specific scene, because you can only put so much in one panel. But in a video or an anime, you can pretty much see like the different types of not the different types, but the each clip, and it pretty much goes from one part to another, and it's like you can kind of see the progression as well as the environment, like I was saying.
What anime do you see it like being like, if it gets adapted? What anime would you like to see adapted like?
Well, when it comes to animation, I would like it to be animated similar to, like, I know it's gonna sound cliche, but definitely something like the Boondocks. I mean, the Boondocks is an OG show for sure, but
100%.
it's just more of the fact like the character dynamics as well as the expressions, and pretty much just even like the just designs of a lot of the characters would be very similar to something like the Boondocks. But when it comes to like story wise,
Or like the fight scenes. What kind of fight scenes do you like?
oh, fight scenes, there are a lot. I love hand-to-hand combat. Obviously, we're gonna talk about Jujutsu
Jujutsu Kaisen,
yeah, nah, that's a fire show. But honestly, with I want it to be very not too detailed, but where every single hand-to-hand combat kind of scene is very what's it called? It's expressed very well. It's very fluid. It's smooth, and it's not really like when you pause it at a specific frame, it looks kind of janky or lazy. I know it's going to be very costly, but I wouldn't mind obviously investing and putting the effort into it. So
100%, and I think let's go off that too. Like, I think having read your story is definitely deserves very good like animation for hand-to-hand combat, because that's one of his biggest strengths. Like, I don't know how you do it, like, but you're able to like really get into the movement and the character's head when it comes to like the fight scenes. Or like someone will punch in a way, but the other character's already thinking about the punch. He was already reacting, and it's like a flow. Like, and is I wanted to just go off that. How did you pivot in a little bit? Because I'm just interested in this topic. How did you write your fight scenes, and like, how do you develop them, especially when you're writing them as like obviously like storyboards, but also like when it comes to you actually animating them?
Well, I would literally just study a lot of animations, and it would and what I'll do is I'd probably just be watching a clip of like a fight scene, and when I see a fight scene, sometimes I do this very like special thing where I'll kind of like pause each frame and then see like how it pretty much progresses from one thing, because it's obviously sped up and you can't assimilate what's it could take in everything that's going on in that quick moment. So I just basically pause the frames, and it's like seeing the overall choreography. Obviously it helps me kind of like freestyle and come up with my own type of choreography in my head. On top of that as well, I also kind of get inspired of what's it called just pretty much something like leisurely activities. So for example, boxing, when I do boxing, obviously there are different drills in remembering different what's it called just exercise, not even exercises but drills, so you can pretty much know how to learn footwork as well as like body posture. And it's like I incorporate some of the things that I learned from my boxing classes sometimes into the fight scenes. I kind of like say like, okay, if he throws a right jab, what would be like a suitable way to dodge it? And obviously because I've been taught how to dodge in like obviously some of the sessions, I would then end up kind of using that to kind of just come up with my own kind of story.
Is that why you started doing boxing, or you started doing boxing for your own benefit?
I did boxing more for my own benefit. I was in a mindset of just trying to kind of like learn different types of skills, because I mainly just did boxing because it's like I just felt like it was necessary for me to at least learn self-defense. Not that I felt like, oh, I'm in a place where I need to defend myself, but if I were to learn something, let me just at least learn something like boxing. It was just like I picked it up, and then from there came perks with what's it called, the idea of obviously incorporating it into my story.
Yeah, no, I go off that too because I completely agree with what you said. Like you mentioned, like picking up skills, and I completely agree. Like I did the same thing. I started Muay Thai, and then I did boxing for a bit, and then I do jiu-jitsu now because I think it's like you're right. It's not even just about getting to fights and doing anything like that. It's that if I were to, I want to be able to be the calmest person in that scenario because I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I don't want to be the person that's just flailing about. Like, and I think once you even learn how to fight, even better, you know, it helps you keep calmer and kind of like diffuse situations because you're not like scared to jump into a fight or anything like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and I think also that just to pivot a bit, because I do, if you just left me more and I just talk about your work all day, because I think your work is so cool. But I also wanted to just go on just a little bit about just like who you are as a person, because I want people to also see that too, and like, you know, relate to that, the man behind the story, you know, the man behind the Jagabon boy, you know, because like in the future when everyone knows who you are, you know, this is going to be important because they're going to be looking at the person that you are. All right, just talk about that then. So you had this idea of success, you had this idea of being this person who was successful. Where did that come from? What was the thing that made you want to even take time and effort to build this thing, or like, you know, to actually put in the discipline and the hard work to do it? Like what started you on that path?
Well, I have a variety of factors that kind of ended up getting me inspired to do it, but I'd probably say the biggest catalyst was just really, are you talking about like the individual or the specific thing?
Individual.
Okay,
like
the
you,
individual.
for you yourself, like what was like in terms of like, because obviously you must have been in a stage in your life, or anywhere I was, where I wanted to do something but I never had the inspiration or the motivation to do it every single day to build it out, right?
Yeah,
but you obviously, I don't know if it's the same for you, but I reached a point where I was like, that's it, I want to actually try hard now and I'm going to focus and dedicate my time, and I know you do a lot of that. I'm wondering, what was that like? What was the shift like?
I mean, it's gonna be really, really random, but there was just a variety of random inspirational videos. I went from watching like, it's gonna sound very silly, but I was watching like a KSI Reddit video, and like I think somebody must have done like some artwork for him or something, and he was just like, "Yo, this shit is like actually talented. Like you got a lot of He was basically saying the guy had a lot of talent, and he was just saying that if you actually just apply like something, if you do something you enjoy every single day and then make the most of it, you can become successful. And then he said that's what I did with YouTube, and I deeped it. I was like, even though a lot of people clown the guy, it's like my man went from like doing like silly edits, like the type of edits,
football edits,
football
like
edits on
KSI, bro.
Do you remember, bro?
100%.
Like he had Mandem doing the wildest stuff, and now he's like probably one of the up and coming, fastest, successful like
people in the world, literally.
Or at least in UK. I mean, I don't know about the world because there's a lot of people.
That is true. But like, you just think about like, he has the podcast. I mean, he has the podcast assignment, and he's like all over. Like he's doing boxing. That's taking him worldwide, I think.
Facts. No, yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's another thing as well, because it's like a lot of people be like, oh, he ain't a boxer, he ain't a rapper, but it's like he's stepping out of his comfort zone, profiting, working with people like Lil Durk, and then now actually like hosting like worldwide events, and it gets you thinking like, all he did was just do what he felt was sensible,
so
and what he enjoyed.
I can do it.
Exactly, 100%.
Was he like a role model, or like, do you have any other role models that you had in that stage of your life growing up?
Weirdly enough, it was like, this is what I'm saying, because it was a variety of people, but there was Peerborn as well, and Peerborn, he like produces music for like Playboy Carti, well, not for Playboy Carti specifically, but for a variety of artists, but his biggest one was Carti. Long story short, I remember I saw a podcast, I think it was like Life of Peer or something like that.
Bro,
sorry, like Life of Peer, and he was just talking about how he was in the studio for like 6 months straight, just banging out and you know what it was like, he started off just like, I don't know his full story, but I know it started off with him eventually moving to Atlanta and like producing music for like different random artists, because he didn't actually like have enough, like he wasn't like making enough pieces. He was making pieces off like producing of artists, and it's like he worked for somebody else, and in the little time he had to record produce his own music, he used to record in studio and spend extra hours and shifts working on it. And it's like seeing someone like do that and then eventually end up making so many classics in like around 2019 20, when like back when Carti was in his peak, like it makes you sit there and think like, raw, like if people are doing it, even like even fictional characters, like this is, like I said, it's gonna sound crazy, but like Franklin Satan, I'll see him go from like being just a random
100%.
random youth just to like becoming a fucking
Empire,
empire,
that's crazy.
boss.
So I go off that. I ask my own questions about role models and like inspirations. I think it's so interesting you talk about that, because I feel like in that state of mind, you're just looking for anything to inspire you, and that's what I was doing. At least, like, I was looking at like people like KSI, people like Franklin. Like, obviously you see Franklin in the show, and if you're in the show, you see him like go from like wherever he is to like a big progression, and you see how he has to deal with certain decisions and stuff like that, and you kind of see that in your own life. So like, I was, instead of role model, because I think like even me, I didn't have a specific role model. Now I do, in terms of like the podcasting space, people who I watch all the time that want to be like that. I study their podcast and go like, I like how they do that, I want to be like that. But like in terms of like role models growing up, I didn't really think I had a role model growing up, and that's so weird too, because like, to even take off like the element of like, you just think about society for a second, right? How weird is it, do you think, that a lot of guys grew up without role models? And like, what do you think that, like, and that's a big question, so get ready. So big question here. What do you think that, how do you think that affects guys growing up to become men when we don't have role models? And like, how do you think that even like, you know, in the future is going to show up in society?
So like, how do I think it's going to affect the future? I mean, see like this, some people will struggle. Like the strong will persevere, and then the weak will obviously struggle. I'm not really on some like 300 Spartan shit. Just like, like I'm not trying to make you get what I mean.
That's the babies that aren't like that aren't, you know what I mean?
Into the bushes and everything.
For the animals and prey.
Literally, man. But now it's just more of like, see it like this. You having a father or like a man, a role model in your life will definitely help you succeed. But the whole point of life is both independence and codependence. You can't be too codependent.
Say that again.
Or independence and codependence.
Nah, that was a bastard. Going like,
I made it deep. No. I'll write that down.
Maybe deep that shit still, like, keep that down.
No, but it's true, like, because you got to deep it. You can't rely on people to bring you up, but it does obviously come out as a perk, because it's something which I even deeped as well. Sometimes I'll be like, oh yeah, I'd kind of rely on people on certain things instead of just taking initiative and thinking of like, okay, let me do this for myself, and if I don't learn from it, how can I learn? How can I bounce back? So that's why I was saying, it's like, obviously when it comes to the younger generation, it may be a lot more difficult, mainly because of the fact that I feel that at least in the West, a lot of children, not children but youngers, are kind of like, they're softer. I don't think all of them. Some people, a lot of people would obviously be alright. It's not like everyone's going to be fucked, but it's just they're not built like they were back in the day.
100%. Okay, here's a question then. What's one thing that you had to learn in order to become a man? Like, one thing that you had to like come to terms with for you to be able to realize that you, like you said, have your own independence, but also like made you into the kind of man you are today?
I feel like one of the things you kind of need to have is like a moral basis. It's like two things: morality and then your own not even desires, but your own something that's, I'm trying to think of the right word,
like interest, or like your own passion, or
not even passion, but something that benefits you. So it's prioritizing yourself but also having morality. If you're able to balance those two factors, then I'd probably say that you'll be worthy to be saying that you're a man. And even myself, I wouldn't even say like, I'm not saying I'm not a man, but I still feel like there's a lot of things I still need to learn. But the reason why I say priority and morality is because priority is like doing and what's in your best interest. So for example, if in your best interest is to, I don't know, let's say you're in a workplace and you're being competitive with other people there, you're not going to be nice and then be like, okay, let me let somebody else succeed in this because I'm friends with them. You need to be selfish and put yourself first. But at the same time, you also need to have a good moral basis. Like for example, if you're in a scenario where you had to pick with, like, I don't know, spending time with your family or going out, like obviously the morally right, okay, that's not really as deep. Let me think of a better one. It's like, let's say it's like, I don't know,
like snaking a person, or it will become successful yourself or something.
So like probably like I don't know, cheating someone for success. Like if you're not in a scenario where you feel like you need to do it, then there's no, I mean, yeah, if you're not in a scenario where you feel like you need to do it, you shouldn't do it. If you're in a scenario where you do need to do it and it's like your life is at risk, then it's a different scenario. Because the main reason why I say that, it's like, for example, sometimes people do their own things for their own benefits, you know, and that could come with a lot with emotion and relationship. It's like you can probably not say what's really on your mind. And that's why I'm saying it's like those type of things kind of make you either a man or not. Obviously the same kind of applies for a girl as well. Like,
yeah, nah, but I mean, like, we talk about girls all the time. Like, I get, like, I want to start a conversation about, like, because I think you're right, and the younger generation doesn't have anything. Well, I didn't even when I was growing up, I was like, this is how you be a man. These are the things you need to do. These are the, and I know it's like, manosphere, but it's important because these conversations need to be had with everyone, so then people get different perspectives. Maybe don't listen to me. Maybe I'm not right. I just know my own way. But like, if you just piece together enough information from everyone else, then you should be able to find your own way through that.
no,
you know?
facts.
Yeah, and okay, to kind of like define, well, what would you say makes a man? Like, how would you define, like not like just a man, but like a competent, you know, reliable kind of man that you want to be in 20 years? So like, okay, the better question, say you put yourself 20 years in the future, what kind of man do you want to be? How would you define that kind of person?
Somebody who's at least financially stable, so I can at least look after like my family, or at least the people around me that are like close to me. I want to also be able to just be able to have like a good moral compass, kind of have a good understanding of how the world works, know how to kind of like adapt in certain scenarios, be able to read social signals and be able to know when to say things and not when to say things, not like a robot, but just in a sensible kind of aspect.
Understanding, yeah. 100%.
And I don't know, maybe potentially being at a point where it's like, oh yeah, obviously this is what succeeding in my goals, like obviously the comics and everything else, but also being able to be at a point where it's like, I'm not trying to be on some like Mother Teresa stuff, but if I can obviously help people out, I would like be happy to do that. So
what do you want a family?
Yeah, of course, that'd be great. The only reason why I said is because it's like, obviously having a family is a beautiful thing, but you just need to find like the right girl first. So like,
But by 40 years old, you think you would have found the right
oh
girl, right?
yeah. I just think it's just, I don't know, that whole thing, it's like, that's in the future.
It's a bit techie.
Yeah, because it's like the only thing with family is like, family is a beautiful thing, but maybe I've just been watching too much like, what's it called, Empire. But like sometimes I just see like toxicity and then I'm like, no, family's good. What am I talking about?
Yeah, nah. Okay, let me relate to that. Let me say, because I know they're gonna look at you mad, but I completely agree.
Yeah.
I think, like, to answer my own question, 20 years now, what kind of person do I want to be? What kind of man do I want to be? Sorry, I think definitely religion should be more important. Like, I want religion to be at the forefront. I know that in time, like, wherever I'm going, the path I'm heading down, that like that's going to be important in my role somewhere. When you talk about morality, that's what I think. I think like you need something to stabilize you, especially as a man, because if you don't fear anything, then you can do anything. Like literally, like it's actually crazy out here for guys. Like guys be doing crazy shit because there's no morality inside of them to know that actually I'm not going to do this thing because I have a code within myself. Because otherwise you can do anything. There's so many girls, but it's like you don't need to do that because in the long run that actually not going to be good for you. You know, and I think I definitely want a family. I think I agree with what you're saying because it's difficult, especially now we're so young. You can want a family, but like you have to actually put that stuff together. It's not just like an idea in your head. You know, you actually have to do it, go out and do it.
Facts. That's part of the reason. Sorry, but I just wanted to say that's why I was hesitant, because it's like people are like family this and that, but you need to understand like family isn't just about having something that you created, because everyone is different. They have their own personalities. Your perception of what you want in a family, you need might not be how you get it. So you need to just be able to learn to love them. That's why I felt like I was being hesitant, because I want to be able to mentally grow. So it's like when I'm old enough to have children, when I have my kids, I'm going to be at a point where it's like I can accept them for how they are.
Yeah, 100%.
And have a healthy relationship.
100%. And to even base off that too, it's like I think it's going to be so interesting for us because like we want to be successful. Like I've seen a lot of successful people, what they do is that like they kind of like give up their family to be successful. And that's a difficult thing. You've seen in power, even like they do all the stuff they need to do to keep them safe, but then they end up hating them because of the stuff they do, you know. So it's like that's a tug of war. Like I want to be there for my family and be always present, but sometimes I won't be able to because I have big dreams and I've got things that I've started since before I even met this family, met this woman. So it's like I want to keep on going that way. So that's a difficult and new challenge that I think our generation is having to face. Where it's like, I mean, probably they had to face it before, but our generation especially, because family is not pushed on us. If you want a family, you have to really go out there and get it yourself, create yourself. And it's like, but we also want to be successful. We also want to do things in our life and actually achieve stuff. So it's like, it's a difficult balance, what I'm saying. And it's like, it's really interesting. And it's like, I don't know. Okay, question for you then. I think another important part as you get older and older is the people that you keep around you. You know, like the kind of friends that you have. Talk to me about like how your friends have influenced the kind of person you are today, and like how do you think like the people around you are gonna support you, or like what role they're gonna play in the future person you're gonna become.
I feel like I've always had like a very healthy like friendship group. I think a lot of my different friends, and I've had a healthy friendship group, but they all come from different friendship groups. But it's managed to help me kind of grow to be a very not versatile, but I have different interests because of them. Yeah. You learn a lot of things from different types of like vibes, as well as cultures, interests, as well as like just like morality. I think a lot of the time when you ask me like who are my biggest inspirations, I wouldn't say that my friends are like my inspirations, but I wouldn't say I look up to my friends, but I would say they inspire me. Yeah.
100%. What's one thing you've learned from them, like?
Well, like all of them are different. One of them I've learned how to be a bit more like socially aware, know how to make jokes at certain times, know how to carry myself around certain people. Another person is kind of more social interactions. Like when I say social interactions, like back in the day when obviously my confidence and game wasn't there, my boy kind of like told me how to approach certain things. And then there's other ones who helped me with like just approaching work and like being focused. Another one actually helped me with my money. Like in uni I was on some bum thing, but I remember one of them just pulled me to the side and said that you've been working for like how long, and like that realization helped me clear and realize how to approach certain things with my finances. But even just several things as well. Another one even taught me just how to kind of like have like better relationships with like my parents. Another one taught me like how to kind of like deal with relationships. It's just different things.
Man. And how do you think in the future they're going to play a part in your growth?
Honestly, I would love for them to genuinely be a part of like, I don't know, maybe like a company if I created something like that. But the only reason why I said company is just obviously like big aspirations. But
100%.
The reason why I also say that is all of my friends are very talented in different things, and having very talented friends, obviously they're going to be doing their own thing, but working with them, having the opportunity to work with them would be like a blessing for not only like financially but like emotionally as well.
100%.
Because you're creating something with the people you love, like. So
100%. And like just to go off that too, like like to answer my own question also, it's like I think friends are so important. I think every friend that I've had has played such an important part in my growth, because you have different friends from different circles and you kind of learn everything and you become the person you are. Like the person I am today is because of all the people I've known, because they've allowed me to see like, you know, one friend you make jokes with and you understand that, okay, cool, like I can actually just laugh and fuck around and make jokes, you know. Another person you study and you go, okay, like I can actually focus. So like they just do their own thing, and like you said, you kind of pick up little stuff from them and they become your inspiration. Like I've said it before, like this channel is an inspiration for my friends. It's because I go like, bro, like I was having these conversations with people and I'm like, I want to get this on camera because people need to see what else they can learn from you. Like, not even, especially for example, like I've learned so much about just dedication and hard work and like balancing the two and understanding what needs to be done and when, and then talent. Just like when it comes to your work, you're so meticulous and all that stuff too. It inspires me to do that because I go like, actually, I know Timi's out there working. I know Timi's doing that thing where he's building the story out and he's, you know, like you're doing bigger things. I know what you're doing next year. I don't want to say too much, but you know what I mean? Like, but you know what I mean? Like, I know like all of this stuff that you're doing, and it inspires me to always push myself because I know like actually he's succeeding, you know, and like that's so cool. And if he can do it, then I can do it. And I know we're both, you know, on that definitely like, you know, trying to inspire each other that way.
No, 100%. Like the fact that you even mentioned that, I literally forgot, but even our passions and like ambitions, like even like when I first met Jeff as well, like bro literally just told me about his thing, and like when I saw the thing is like, you know, when you meet people in a party and then you say you're gonna plan something, but sometimes it doesn't fall through. But this is like, you actually hit me up and was like, let's run this thing up, and like 100%. We actually did it, and it's like, that's a lot of respect. Like, even like on the 5-a-sides, like he mentioned, bro came with his equipment, and seeing that obviously made me kind of want to stay focused on track, because one of the biggest like ambitions for goals is really just achieving the dreams. Like, when you achieve your dream, like I see people like RDC World meet like J. Cole. I'm like, yo, these are just
That's
people
crazy.
that's crazy.
Yeah,
they're just like us, like, and we can
100%.
do that, man, bro.
But yeah, 100%. Yeah, you're actually 100% right, because like, it's like you go off these kind of like, even deep in it, like even J. Cole was like us at some point in his life too. So it's like, I always say this now, I feel like the people working now and we us doing this, we're going to become the people that people get inspired by, because that's how it works, you know. Circle of life, you know. They go out and we come in, and then someone's going to be in his room talking about like, oh, I want to meet Timi, and it's like, bro, like Timi was talking about, you know, what Timi wanted to do at some point, but you're going to become the person that people are going to be like, I want to meet Timi, I want to show Timi my comic, I want to tell him how he inspired me, he made a Roadman comic that I've never seen before, kind of paved the way. But you know what I mean, like, you're going to create that, like that, those work for other people to come and, you know, kind of do their own thing in that way.
No, 100%.
You know, I had a question too, just another question about like how, because we were talking about before how I can really see that you got a good balance of like, you know, working hard but also resting. You know, I struggle with that a lot. I struggle with resting. The reason why my voice sounds like this, by the way, is because the last 2 nights I was resting. You know, I was trying to have fun. I was like, you know, partying, you know, having a good time.
You're off the liquor.
I was hey, can't be saying that on camera. What are you talking about? Not off the liquor at all. I was trying to get me bait, you know. What's going on? What's going on, bro?
Just cut it out.
I'm just joking. But no, like, I was like, you know, I was having fun, and, you know, I kind of lost my voice a bit. But like, that's very rare for me, because I always try to be focused, and like, you know, like, I think maybe it's because when I started doing this, it was very much, I needed that. I needed to be always focused, always strict to myself, because otherwise I wouldn't get enough momentum. But now I've got the momentum, it feels like I can't stop. I have to always be working. I have to, even my free time I'm editing videos, even my free time I'm writing. You know, it's like, that can't be sustainable. So I was want to ask you, I don't know if you figured it out, but like, I also want to ask you, how do you balance having fun but also staying focused and working towards your goals?
I ain't figured it out. I'm still trying to figure that out.
Alright, fuck's sake, who are we gonna ask, bro? How are we gonna figure it out?
Bro, that's something we gotta learn. But once I got the answers, okay, now more time though.
Let's speak on it a little bit, if you know.
I mean, I'm figuring it out, but so far what I managed to do is I kind of set myself, like, I try and give my Sundays, make my Sundays my lazy days. So at least have one day when I'm not doing everything. I'm not doing anything. But I also feel what you could do is maybe kind of like have 2 weeks on for hard work. Obviously use Sundays as the lazy days, and then obviously the third week in the month you kind of have less work to do, and then you have like Saturday and Sunday off. Then you go hard for another 2 weeks, then off a week. And then obviously it's like, as you're doing this, it's like you also give yourself maybe a long-term holiday to kind of work towards. So for me, I'm kind of like, okay, I'm gonna try and fly out to like 3 countries next year. When I'm trying to fly out is in first flight is probably in the end of April. So from March to January to March, sorry, I'm gonna literally just be doing the 2 weeks grind on the north. Obviously at the end of the month I'll also give myself like a little, I don't know, weekend treat. Like maybe I'll probably go out with my mates to a different city, or probably go to Paris or something. But then again, it's like these are things which I would have planned at the beginning of the month. I think the best way to say it is just organizing your month. Yeah, and then kind of working day by day towards that. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so you know that, but even you have to plan in the rest days and stuff like that. Yeah, you have to genuinely just plan everything, because it's like anything can happen, and it's like that's why I'm saying that I'm still figuring it out. Because like, for example, like I told myself that next week was going to be my off week, but I couldn't do certain things this week. I was trying to work on a photo shoot. I couldn't do that. So I have to push it till next week. But it's okay, because it's like I've kind of done a backup team where I'm like, okay, tomorrow I'll probably have a bit of a rest day. And so next week I'll end up just grinding instead. So it's just adapting your timetable and then learning to stay committed. It's really just timetabling. It's like committing to a passion.
Yeah, 100%. And you just kind of like, you take that and you just build it out from there, because you understand that like the larger goal is important, but also like resting is important too.
Yeah.
Because like I definitely get, I don't know if you feel, I definitely get into this feeling and habit that like if I don't work every day, then I feel like I'm not making any movement.
Facts.
You know what I mean?
Facts.
Like, do you feel that too?
Yeah, that's literally the impulsiveness, but that's because you've got a goal. We feel that there's a time limit. If we don't succeed in that time limit,
yeah, fuck yeah,
it gets to you, man. I feel what you're saying, and it's a bad habit, because even with me, I can't rest. Like, I will come back home and then be like, okay, I'm gonna chill, and then about as soon as I get back home after I eat, I'll just be drawing, and then I'm like, wait, I thought I was supposed to be chilling.
How do you get rid of the time limit that we have?
Honestly, man, you just gotta learn to take it easy. Like,
take it easy.
Yeah, man.
I need to sing when my voice is gone. I can't that part out.
Nah, you're funny, bro.
Go.
Nah, I think it's just it's literally just kind of like not putting too much pressure on yourself. That's something which I'm still learning at the moment. But I think the best way to kind of approach that is really just whenever you feel like you're reaching that limit, genuinely just be like, okay, I'm gonna put it down and I'm gonna come back tomorrow. Because there have been times where you'll burn yourself out, and then it's like the work you're doing isn't even at your peak. Like, I remember I'll draw a sketch. I finished drawing a whole wallpaper for my artwork, the outline, and I looked at it, and it's because throughout that whole week I stayed up till about 1 or 2 a.m. after work, and I thought to myself, nah, I'm rubbing this whole thing off. Next Monday I'm gonna start again, and I'm gonna do it when I'm in a better mindset. So then I did it in the clear. I basically rested. When I looked at it, it was on the Sunday, right? And I was trying to finish it off. I just rubbed it off and I said, look, I'm too tired. I'm going to start again tomorrow. I'm going to try and complete it for 2 weeks' time. And then I actually took my time with it. Completed it with just after the 2 weeks. But it's not that deep, because at the end of the day, it's still in my own time. I haven't gotten... At the end of the day, I've got other responsibilities that are also kind of
100%.
stopping me. I'm not in an environment where I need to actually complete it by a deadline, and I don't have those other responsibilities.
And was it better work because you took your time to do it?
Yeah, 100%. I got better likes. I mean, it wasn't significantly that much, but I got a few extra. I got several extra likes, and I kind of ended up realizing that it's like, even the responses in the comments as well, they're saying it looks a lot more detailed. The anatomy looks better. It was because I took my time with it, and I realized it's quality over quantity. That's what it is.
100%. Like, just finding that balance is so important too, because yeah, I think like it's obviously, especially because we're trying to do a longevity thing. You know, we're trying to do this to the rest of our lives. Like it's those, I think about this all the time, bro. Like, we're talking about how, oh yeah, we're struggling to balance. It's only gonna get worse.
Yeah.
It's only gonna get harder.
100%.
More work, more people relying on us, like millions of pounds, like more stress. Like, it's something we want, because we're going to be actually not doing the things we don't want. We're just going to be doing the things we want. So it's something we actually want to engage with. But it's still like, fuck, dude. It's like, you're complaining now, but like in the future, you're going to have a fucking Netflix on your neck, like talking to you about, Timi, we got to get this scene made. Like, we need you in the office right now.
And that, no, you're fully right, and that's where all of this practice comes in. So you learn how to balance all the pressure, and it's like the one thing is just not allowing the pressure to get to you. Once you learn, it's kind of like a reversal technique. It's like you wouldn't think that by calming down you'll be able to complete things a lot better, but you gotta take your time with things. If you gotta take your time with a production, with an something which you're working on, then take that time, but also be sensible enough to at least give it a reasonable time when you're gonna delay it. That's why I'm saying with for me, I just think the best thing for me that which I've kind of been learning, and I know you asked how do I work on balancing time and like not overworking. I just see it as just be realistic to yourself,
and like what you're gonna do.
Know your limitations.
Know your limitations. Fair enough. Let me just go on off that too. And like another aspect of like balancing the work-life balance and the chill life balance is to find like relationships and to make sure that like when you're in relationships, I know that he's laughing in the comments because he knows what's coming. Just understand that like, you know, that we're not just work people, we're also people trying to connect to people. And like, you know, when you find relationships, when you meet girls and stuff like that, I wanted to just ask you, and you know, you can abstain from answering, but I want you to answer. Alright, cool. Like, what have you learned from past relationships, and like, how do you approach like the next set of relationships with that in mind? And I mean like romantic relationships, not just with like friends. Like,
No.
I mean things, you know what I mean? Like, I mean things. I'm joking.
You're a dog, bro.
For all the dogs.
For all the dogs,
Yeah,
indeed.
woof.
Alright, who let the dogs out? Honestly, I just learned that it's a 50-50 thing. You just need to be able to know the desires of the person who you're being with, and then know the things that you also desire, know the things that you want as well, and then learning how to be able to balance it. So for example, it's kind of like if you know somebody doesn't like, if your girl doesn't like watching scary movies, but you don't like watching romance movies, don't watch any of those two movies, just watch comedy movies. And obviously you'll both be able to compromise because you'll be able to understand each other. I think there's a few things, but it's just really understanding the things that they dislike, seeing if she's able to understand you and respect your traits, the things that you like and the things that she may not like about you, but will be like, look, it's you and I can respect that.
100%.
The same way you probably look at her and there might be things that you might find you're not a fan of, but you can still love her for like obviously having that. But I think another thing is just also just about reality, and when I say reality, I mean being realistic with each other. So for example, if you're living far away, clearly it's not going to work. You shouldn't lie to yourself. I mean, unless you both of you can commit to that, there's no point of you forcing it just because of your emotions. The same way how it's like, if you don't like doing, I don't know, not even long distance, but let's say something like maybe just like interests or even just like specific traits. You just got to be very genuine with yourself and not kind of like basically force it. But yeah.
Okay, let me go off that also. Like, I think, yeah, you're 100% right. Like, it's so important to just be authentic and real. I think that's why one thing I realized about myself too is that, like, more than anything, I want someone who's real and like genuine, you know. And I think like that's been difficult, very difficult in London, in the dating, because everyone is just like trying to put a mask up. Like when you meet someone, like for example, like legit, when I meet a girl, I'm just trying to be as real as possible. Like I've known you for time. Like the same way I treat everyone else, I want to treat you like that, and then we just develop whatever we develop through that. But like I realized that when I do that, they just get like it's too much at the beginning, you know, because they're just known for the, like the steps, the dating, the talking stage. I just go right into like what's your darkest, deepest, you know, what do you want from life and shit like that. That's something I realized about myself just through the relationships I've had or the things that have not gone well just in relationships. So I was gonna ask you, what's something that you've realized about yourself through these relationships that you can like admit to yourself now that maybe you couldn't before?
I think it's just really just my character, really. I realize that there are people that are gonna like you and there are people that are gonna
100%.
like you before and then probably go to disliking, and there are people that are just not gonna like you.
Yeah.
But you weren't born into this world to be like a Superman where everyone likes you. You're just yourself. So at the end of the day, you just you gotta just do you and kind of like prioritize your own things. That's part of the reason why when it comes to like a lot of relationships, I think it's just something which you shouldn't really look for, because you need to still understand yourself better. And it's like once you then understand yourself, you can then get to a point where it's like, okay, I know, you'll be able to see who's like a good a compatible partner for you. So a lot of it just really just comes from just making yourself at your peak and just basically loving yourself. And the reason why I say that is because it's like the way I see it is like, if you kind of like just focus on yourself, not only would you attract, like you have a wider opportunity of like attracting different people, but it's like you would also be able to kind of like decipher what you like and what you don't like.
100%, because you know yourself more.
Exactly.
Yeah, 100%. I completely agree with you, and like that's been a big part of my life too. Like that's why, like that focus on yourself and just working on your own things and figuring out what you want. Like for example, if I was 18 and someone came to me and told me that I like poetry and be doing all these things, I would have like agreed. I would be like, what are you talking about? That's stupid. But you know, but like I got to know myself. I got to just do different things and see what I enjoy and see what really clicks with me. And now that if I meet a girl that likes poetry, that's real to me. So that's more like reason for me to connect. You know, and like that's just interesting to see that like over time, getting to know yourself and getting to know what you want. Like I always struggle with that too. Like hands up, sometimes I don't know what I want. You know, sometimes I want like a girl who I'm gonna like prime to get married with, and I'm like sometimes like, but that's a bit too much. Like just look for a thing that you can just like have a good day with, and then build from there. You know, I'm like in between the two. Do you kind of feel that, or are you kind of like, nah, I just know what I want still? What do you want?
What do I want?
What do you want?
I want peace, man.
I like that's what we want. Like, it's not even that deep. Like,
no, it's techie. I know what I want. I just think for me, I especially like after going not, especially like no experience a lot of things. I just feel I know what I want, and what I really want is just to succeed in what I'm putting my mind to, and then whatever comes with it will come with it. Because I don't believe that I won't ever find like the right girl. I know that would happen, but I don't really have an aspiration of how I want it to be or how it's gonna happen.
Sorry, yeah, go on. I'm gonna distract you, but go on.
No, it's calm. It's calm.
Go, I can hear it. Go on, sorry.
No, that's calm. It's calm. I'm trying to think of.
You said you don't want to be in a situation like you. Fuck.
Oh no! You said something like you don't want to view like your dream girl.
Yeah.
Because I think it's like something that kind of naturally happens, but at the same time, I'm not even thinking about like the whole dream girl thing, and it's not because I don't want it. I just think it's just.
You don't think it exists?
It's not that it doesn't exist. I think it's just more of like I've got bigger dreams other than that. So it's not that I don't care about it. I just want to succeed in something else more than I think about like it's like basically you go to like Pizza Hut, you're not going to be thinking of McDonald's.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, so
I 100% agree with you because like I can go off that too because I agree with you. It's like I'm too focused on the things I want to achieve. I'm too focused on the goals that I want. Obviously a girl would be nice, but it's like it would be nice things like a side quest. You know, it's like it's a thing that happens because of the things I'm trying to achieve. Yeah. And I think there'll definitely come a time where I have to like focus on that. It's like how I'm focusing on this. You know, like, you know, when it comes down to actually find a wife or something, I have to be like, okay, cool. Who do I know is serious about it? But like right now, it's just about just you know, focusing on my goals and just like achieving those, you know, and just kind of building on that every single day.
Yeah, because do you know why? It's a good thing that you said that, because it's like I think I found a better way to say it. It's like it's the whole codependence and independence thing, like I said was said.
Yeah.
You don't. The whole life isn't about like living for somebody else or living with someone else. It's about succeeding in what you want to do and then enjoying everything else that comes with it. Because not everyone's going to be part of your story. Your parents are not always going to be part of your story. Your siblings are not always going to be part. That's why I said the whole relationship thing. It's not that I don't think it's an important, but at this moment in time, it's not really like the relevant part of the story. So why waste time running around thinking? Definitely put yourself out there. Don't close yourself off. Definitely still speak to people and enjoy and see where it definitely goes, you know. But at the same time as that, don't force it. Just kind of just
see where it goes. Kind of like ride the wave or some shit, you know.
100%, because everyone else is gonna come in like side characters. You're the main character. You are him. So
thank you. You remember, I am him. Main character energy, bro. 100%. You're talking about 100% because it's like you're right. I think especially when it comes to like stuff like that, relationships and stuff, because you know things just happen, and you know, and you kind of, as long as you remain true to what you want to do, like you just know that you have yourself no matter what, have your back, you know, respect you, you know, have your friends back, then I think that you're going to be good. You're going to be okay.
100%.
And then we were talking about just like always keeping your mind focused and achieving your goals. I know that in the pursuit of goals, there are sometimes setbacks, you know, things that happen on time or things you expect to happen, but that, like, you know, they fail. How do you, you know, react to stuff like that? How have you bounced back from failure? How have you kind of like adapted to like a new environment, you know, that's helped you kind of push on towards your goals, you know what I'm trying to say?
Wait, so how about I bounce back from L's?
So yeah, basically, yeah.
Okay.
Just puts it more succinctly,
No.
How have you bounced back from L's?
I was just trying to think of the best way to kind of go.
That's the best way to say it. How have you bounced back from L's? Yeah.
Simplify it.
Yeah.
Honestly, just look at the thing which you did wrong, and then seeing why it went wrong, and then approaching the same thing, and then basically hopefully fixing it. It's trial and error. So like, for example, you can try and sell something, and then let's say like you make a loss, you understand why you made that loss. I think the best way to do it is like I explain it like when I draw something, I'll get the feedback, and then sometimes people will be like, okay, you need to work on anatomy. I spend the next week working on my anatomy, then I draw a similar picture that looks the same and see if I get the same type of feedback.
Mm-hmm.
And if the feedback improves, I've succeeded in what I'm doing. So that's how you bounce back from L's.
Yeah.
Apply that to anything else. You cook something, oh yeah, you overcook the pasta.
Yeah, you just learn from like your mistakes. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Like, and I think also like some of the biggest L's that I bounced back from have actually been like the most important, because it was like if I figured out like, okay, there's something deeply not like right here in terms of like I'm not genuinely being myself here. You know, like maybe you have social anxiety in such situations. Like, what's going on? Why do I feel anxious in that situation? Then you kind of deep it, and then you understand. Oh, okay. Like it doesn't even matter. Like I'm thinking about stuff that don't matter. That's why. So you just kind of overcome it, and now you've got like a new skill because you've understood what the problem was, what the L was about, and now you've kind of like adapted, and now you're kind of way better off than you were before. You know what I'm trying to say?
No, 100%.
100%. All right. That's really interesting. I think like it's been fascinating trying to like get to know you, because like, you know, we do talk off camera all the time about your story because I'm so fascinated about it, and I think you guys, like when he does, I keep saying it, I don't want to hype it up too much, but like literally it's amazing. It's really cool. It's really interesting, you know, and I think that like you're gonna go really far. So I think it's interesting to also see the person just driving that story, because your story is going to become famous, but I think the person you are is the reason why it's going to be famous, because your understanding of things, your understanding of like the work effort you put day in, day out, you know, like it's really like I see it and I'm like inspired by it, like I said before, you know, and that's what's going to like kind of lead onto that, you know. You know, like just to like kind of close it out, I think I was thinking like just thinking of like the next few months, right? What are you hopeful to happen? Like what do you look for that you think that, you know, you're looking forward to happening, or like what goals are you looking forward to like, you know, accomplishing? If you can share, you know, just a little bit about that.
For sure. Well, I've got a few personal things I want to sort out. Like obviously I want to sort out my driving. I want to try and obviously start using what's it called, getting into like forex trading. I've obviously been teaching myself for like the past couple of months using demo accounts. I want to try and find an AI and like plan that. I also want to try and start doing more commission based work, you know, making a bit of revenue just drawing artwork for people.
100%.
I also want to start improving my my basically my
your name online and stuff
public,
like
my publicity, exactly, and potentially completing the projects which I'm working on. I do want to speak about it. Honestly, I would speak about it, but
like there'll be time for that.
There'll be a right time.
Yeah, it'll be the right time. When it comes out, we'll come back again. We'll speak about it properly.
For sure.
You know, because I do. I'm excited about it too. Like, you know, I know some of it that's happening. I'm really excited. You know. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Then what? Okay. What aspect then? Shifting a bit. You know, what aspect of that how are you trying to stay free? You think in the next couple of months, and I'm gonna unpack that idea. It's a bit like philosophical, but like just in terms of like how are you trying to make sure that you remain yourself. You know, that you remain who you are. Do you remain grounded to who you are? Do you remain your truest, genuine self over the next couple of months, even though you're trying to achieve all these goals? What are you doing to make sure that like you never like lose yourself through that?
Just sticking to my morality really. So it's like I'll try and treat people the same way how I'd like to be treated. I'd also like try and focus on just pretty much just like balancing my time. Working on a few things that I'm not necessarily like too proud of. Obviously nothing mad, but it's like, for example,
yeah, I'm like that too, bro.
just like self-reflecting a lot, really.
Yeah, 100%. And just to go off that, they're like just even based off that, I think like I'm exactly the same way. Some of my goals actually to just kind of like, it's hard, isn't it? Because like if you talk about your goals, I always say don't talk about your goals because then just do them because it's easier. You know. But if you talk about your goals, like it's like, you know, you always just want to do them instead. But I think sometimes it's also good. I wonder for one of my goals over the next couple of months is to reach episode 21. So like before I started this podcast, I saw a guy say that top 1% of podcasts don't make it past episode like 10, and of that 1% don't make it past episode 21. And I was like, that's crazy. 21 episodes. Like, how can you not make it past 21 episodes? It's actually really hard because it's just like daily, like trying to schedule, like always doing it, like. And I realized, okay, like that's like bare minimum. It's not even that hard. But if I can reach that, that's like a milestone for me to know that, okay, cool, we're in 21, the next one's 100. You know, so it's like just to set, you know, small goals that are achievable, but you know, that challenge you a bit. You know, and that's what it was for me. You know, reached episode 21. Next one, after that it's episode 100. I'm not even looking at the views just yet, but I'm trying to get to like those milestones and then start thinking, okay, cool, how do I build it out for more? How do I have five people trying to tell me to put some of the clips on TikTok? Like, I always like, I'm a bit iffy about TikTok and social media and all that, but I also understand that's the market that we live in.
No, it is.
You know, so you gotta be able to like branch out and kind of do what you're supposed to do if you're gonna do it correctly. So and in terms of being free and more myself, I think I'm definitely trying to write more. I'm trying to perform. So I'm trying to perform one of my poems.
Oh really?
That'll be exactly.
I'll come and visit that.
100%. Now that I've said it, I kind of have to do it. I kind of have to do it now. But I'm trying to do that because I feel like that's a big push, something I've not done before, and I think that would definitely like help me kind of like become more myself or more free, because I think there's a thinking that's like, the thinking is like, if you're not doing something because you're scared, then you're not free. That's holding you back, you know what I mean?
I mean, how are you gonna put yourself out there if you're not willing to at least put yourself out there? And it's like, I'll be honest with you, every form of criticism that comes your way, it's gonna be a benefit, because it's like you can then just learn from it. It's basically people telling you this is what's not looking good. It's like Marvel Studios, that all of the fans are saying they're not enjoying it, and so that's why it's declining, but they're just not listening to the fans. But all you got to do is just change certain elements and then you can improve.
That's a good way to think about criticism too. Like, that's fascinating. But yeah, like those are the type of things I think that over the next few months, if I'm able to do, then it'll really help me kind of like, you know, progress. You know, I think like I've come a long way, you've come a long way too. I think the stuff that you've got planned, 100%, if you do them, you're gonna go to another level. Another, we were talking about this, like levels, and it's almost like chapter arcs, you know. It's almost like you're on a different arc, like this is a different arc of your life, and like it's good to see what this arc like kind of looks like. I think, you know, like I'm just interested into that. So like, thank you so much for doing this. Actually, like, it's cold, guys. You don't understand how cold it is, bro. It's like mist and shit, bro. We're looking like the fucking Naruto. You know, the fucking misty lands, or what the fuck it's called.
Wait, in
Naruto. Do you remember Naruto?
Oh yeah, with Harry Barry or something like that.
Yeah, like those fucking, it's like looking the mist, the mist clan.
Village of the Mist.
Village of the Mist. Yeah. Well, it's crazy cold. So thank you so much for coming, bro.
Bro, it's been a pleasure.
100%. And to close that out, finally, I always ask the person who comes, if they have any questions for me. If they have any questions, this is the time to go. So, what do you think?
Shit.
You don't have to have anything. Most people don't have any questions. But because I've been just peppering you with questions the whole day. You know what I mean? So like, if anything that you thought that you wanted to ask me at the end of it too, this is your time to go.
Okay, sure. What is the biggest inspiration for you when it comes to like podcasts? Like, who was the first channel that you saw that got you into it?
That's a good question. That's a very good question. So I've talked about this briefly, but I think a couple channels. First, there's this guy called Lex Friedman. Like, you probably wouldn't know him. Now he's like this, like he does like these like really like big like podcasts with, like, and I say big as in like important people. Like, he would do like a president, or like he would do like like you know, like physicists and musicians, and like he's had Kanye West on there. He's had Elon Musk on there. Like, he would do like really high level people, and like he'll have conversations and he'll just try to like humanize them. And I thought that's so interesting. But I want to do that with people I know. You know, like take them, because they're all like people are interested in doing things. They're actually doing things already. They're already succeeding in what they're doing. But he's taking that and like bringing it to. I'm trying to take them, bring it to the like a normal level of people at the beginning of their journey.
That's a very, very interesting perspective. I kind of like that, because it's like, see it like this. We get a lot of videos, not videos, but a lot of podcasts that kind of interview like what's it called, successful people. Then 100%. Obviously you have like podcasts where they kind of review what's it called, just like questions on like a Q&A or Reddit,
or like what's going on during the times.
But it's like, for example, someone like Sneaker, when he started interviewing people in subways, it's like, who would have thought that like you'd be entertained just seeing random people talk about
have their opinions. Yes, exactly. Like, and I think like when you, like we talked about inspiration before, how it kind of takes from everywhere. So like that's one of those things too. Like Sneaker doing those like random interviews, I was like, that's so fascinating. Like, imagine I could sit down with people and have that kind of conversation with them about these difficult topics, and like make them think about stuff a little more deeper. And like, it's also interesting for me because I'm having to build relationships with these people. Like, we're actually becoming friends. So like, I actually feel like I'm knowing you, and when I ask these questions, I might know the answer, but I just want to know what you'll say. And I think that's more genuine. So like, definitely that was one of the inspirations. And like different people, like there's a guy called, like there's another podcast called like Modern Wisdom, Like he's been doing it for a while. He does like the same kind of vibe thing. You know, he interviews big people, but he also like has like professors on there and shit like that. You know.
Shit, okay.
And there's this another guy called Danny Miranda. He's like a new guy that I've kind of been listening to.
Okay.
But like these people don't do what I do. Like I'm trying to focus on like artists and athletes and all these things and people like in London and around, you know. But I'm definitely inspired by what they do, and like I really want to just keep on being more consistent because I see what they do and I'm like inspired by that. Definitely.
That's good to hear, man. I mean, it's just pretty interesting to obviously hear things from like your perspective, because
100%.
I do feel like it also like an inspiration for me, like to obviously do my own thing, and that obviously with everyone else we've got like a good creative group that kind of obviously we can use to kind of like push each other up. So
100%.
nah, man, like I said, I just want to say thank you for obviously having me again, man. Some real shit, bro.
Thank you, bro. Thank you so much for coming. And like, dude, like we're tired, we're hungry. I'm like, my eyes are about to close, but like we really did this, and thank you so much for getting through the cold to do it. Like you're a real one for that. I'm glad. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I'll definitely have you on again. Like I've told you already, it's gonna be like a recurring thing. Like every milestone on, you come in here, talk to me about what you've learned, kind of share some information with me, but also these people who like definitely learning off you, because I'm telling you, there's someone out there watching here that's like wants to do what you're doing but doesn't understand how. You know what I mean? And just hearing you speak about it, like they want to be a comic, they will have the idea they want to be a comic, but they don't know how. They don't know what kind of like places to go or like things to put in place. You know, just seeing you, also a normal kid, is gonna, I believe, gonna rise far. It's gonna be really inspiring for them too. You know, so like you're inspiring people right now, bro. Like right now, like look at you inspiring people.
I won't lie to you.
You know what I mean?
No, it'll be good. It'll be. I mean, obviously, if I did have that effect, it'll be a blessing. But I'm just trying to do my own thing, and obviously, hopefully, just entertain people with the stuff that I've got.
100%.
So
100%. And thank you for your definitely entertaining me. Thank you for coming on, bro. Now we gotta do that one again, bro. That was awesome. There we go. Thank you for coming, bro. And thank you so much for watching. And on to the next one. Peace.
Stay blessed.